Michael Carrick has had a great start at Man United in his first 6 months. He's been able to place him in third place, get him to Champions League, and play like the Man United that we all love and know, that used to be so dominant and so good. And today, I'm going to be playing FC26 and taking over Michael Carrick's team for the 26-27 season and hopefully so on. And I hope I can create the same success that he started. Okay, this is the squad that I'm going to be working with. It's all updated. I am in the 26-27 season, and all the ratings are updated. This is just the base squad. Some of the rating changes are like Bruno up to 90. He was the best player last season for Man United. And Lamens 82. Really good first season. Cunha +1. Sesko +1. Manu +3. Bruno got a +3 because I think, in my personal opinion, he was the best Premier League player last season. So I think a 90 rated is fair. But right now I'm going to go right into the transfers, starting off with the sales. Our first, Højlund, who is joining Napoli for 40 mil. Finally, time to get him out of here since we have Sesko. Next is our other striker, Xerxes, to Roma for 20 million. I don't think he'd want to spend another season as our rotation or backup striker. Ugarte to Galatasaray for 20 million because he sucks. And Bayender to his Turkish team that he was at before for 5 million, and Onana at his Turkish team for 15 million. They're both gone. After all those sales and transfers, those 5 big transfers, my budget went from 140 to an extra 100 million. Plus, I got a lot of money from sales, not sales, but I got rid of players. Obviously, everybody knows about Casemiro. He left free agent, but also, more importantly, Jadon Sancho is finally gone. He left as a free agent, and he is no longer Man United's problem. Looking through the squad, there might be one player that you're looking at wondering why he's still here, and that's Rashford. Now, Rashford was supposed to join Barcelona. He ended up not joining because Barcelona focused on Anthony Gordon and went out of going for Rashford. So Rashford has agreed to stay through preseason, and the situation is that I am looking for a new left winger. I don't want to play Cunha on the left wing anymore. I want to focus him more towards the cam and striker. And I want to give Carrick and Rashford a few weeks to try to make things up, see what happens. And if he performs well, maybe more teams will be interested in him during the preseason. But it's either that I keep Rashford and we give it another shot. I sell Rashford. I use his money on someone like Iliman and Jai. Or I sell Rashford, don't sign Njai, and I am going to stick with Patrick Dorgu as the left winger. Now we're going to go into preseason, and I want to focus on the youngsters, Shea Lacey, Cheeto Obi, and Diego Leon and others, especially those guys because I'm going to be sending them on loan. You may be wondering why I'm sending Shea Lacey on loan, not letting him rotate with the squad. Well, I want to try to put him on an Ahmad loan, similar to how Ahmad went on loan in the Championship to Sunderland. I want to send Shea Lacey to a team like Stoke City or not Leicester because they're but some Championship team, and hopefully he can grow. But the main reason for that is because of this guy right here. If you know anything about academy football right now, this guy is balling out, and he's the next big thing, JJ Gabriel, the 15-year-old. But before preseason, I want to make at least 2 transfers. I know who those 2 guys are right now. I'm going to go sign them. First is Mateus Fernandes. That first player is Ederson from Atlanta. He has been linked for recently a lot with Man United. He's actually very close to signing in real life. So I'm going to try to sign him for cheap as possible. I think we said it was going to be somewhere around 35 mil in real life. Is this good? Boom. Okay. 36 mil. That's Ederson. Done and signed. The first signing. Michael Carrick's first signing. Now we move into the next guy that I think Man United's the most linked towards, and probably the other smaller guy. These guys are slightly smaller signings because I don't think these guys are going to be starting for Man United. That's probably a fair price. Yeah, let's go 35. So that's now the second signing. our 2 signings. I don't plan to go through the whole summer transfer window this episode, but I plan to at least get through 1 Premier League game. I'm going to give Matheus Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes' old number, Casemiro's old number, number 18, the number that Bruno wore before, number 8. And Ederson, I'm going to give you number 17, as he reminds me a little bit of like a Fred sort of player, but hopefully better than Fred. There are certain players I want to try to rotate in this preseason. Vitek especially, he did really well in the championship. Amos, really well in the championship as well. Collier, he's had a rough season, injuries, setbacks, but I think this is the big break for him. I think if Mason Mount has any chance of being in this Carrick side, as Carrick already doesn't love him, then he needs to prove it here, because he's not even going to get a lot of backup minutes behind Fernandes. But this is the new starting team for now, and let's get into preseason. So our first friendly match is a very difficult one, as it's against PSG, who, as the time I'm recording this, may or may not be the Champions League winners of 2026, and is going to be a very difficult match. And I ended up starting some of my players that did not play in the World Cup, as I wanted to rest all the players that just came out of the World Cup and are returning, or most of them. But in the first half, we played very, very, very poor. We ended up conceding, and PSG just kept attacking, and would not let down on the attack. Maguire ended up giving away a penalty, which Vitek surprisingly saved it, which kept us only down 1-0 in the first half, as Vitek was playing really, really good and was saving us from really embarrassing defeat. At halftime, I made subs. Players like Sesko, who had very little impact, or Dorgu, who was struggling, and Mount all came off. We had Rashford came on, Cheeto Obi came on, Ederson and Matheus Fernandes got their first game, but not a lot of them really made a difference, as PSG, they're one of the best teams in the world, and they just kept dominating us until they scored, and eventually they scored a 3rd goal, making it 3-0. After the 3rd goal, we started to get a few chances, and we started to get really unlucky. Rashford really cooking, as he's fighting to prove that he's got something left, or he's fighting to prove that he wants to go to a better team. But late on in stoppage time, Matheus Fernandes on a counterattack was able to get the ball to Rashford. Rashford put it away, making it 3-1. We at least got a goal, and it's something to get out of this game. The next friendly game was against Leeds United, where we played pretty good, and we hit back pretty good after the bad PSG loss. The first goal came very early on after there was a counterattack, and Mount played a ball through to Shea Lacey, who finished it and got his first United goal. A few minutes later, Rashford ended up getting fouled, and he had a big chance to take a big free kick, which he absolutely smashed in, scoring top bins, and could be the start of maybe a comeback story. But before halftime, Leeds got 1 goal back. We went into the second half with a few small changes, but we immediately continued to dominate, as we were really getting into full Carrick ball flow. Eventually, a few minutes into the second half, we got a counterattack. Matheus Fernandes with a through ball to Rashford, and Rashford passed it on to Cheeto Obi, who got a goal, making it 3-1. Then finally laid on, Matheus Fernandes crossed in a corner, and it went to Lenny Yoro, who scored the header to seal the game at a 4-1 win. Now the final friendly match we played was against AC Milan, where again we played really, really, really good. Early on, Dorgu ended up going into the box and he got fouled, which resulted in a penalty. And Brian Mbeumo stepped up and he had a chance to score the penalty, which of course he scored, making it 1-0. And we continued to make chances after that, dominating this first half as Sesko kept getting really close. And Matheus Fernandes, as it could have probably been 2-0 very easily. But eventually, Luke Shaw starts a great attack after he does an amazing through ball right to Dorgu. Dorgu brings it over to Sesko, who has an easy finish, making it 2-0 before halftime. Going into the second half, players like JJ Gabriel and Shea Lacey were brought on, and they started cooking. They started showing why they are the future of Manchester United, why I have to use them more often. But the game ended at 2-0 win for Man United. Okay, we finished all the preseason games, and a few of the players got small boost ratings, like Leon, Lacey, Obi, and even Gabriel. I'm going to loan them out over next episode. Now, if you're watching, there's two things I do need help with. I need to figure out who I'm going to sign. First, for defensive midfielder, the big midfielder, am I going to go for Tonali or am I going to go for Tuchemani? Let me know which one fits Man United better, which one will fit the team better, which one do you think is more likely to happen. And then, am I going to try to go for the Rashford comeback, who had a great preseason, or am I going to go for Njai and sell off Rashford to somewhere like Bayern or PSG, or even somewhere in the Premier League? Let me know what I should be going for, which transfers. I want to try to at least make one before I play my first game against Villa. And yeah, any feedback, please give me any. Thank you. Bye.